Namaste everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a test analysis video. As I had said that I'll be attempting tests every weekend, and I attempted a test today itself. Actually, what had happened today was that today was Sunday and Unacademy has a weekly prelims live paper today. And I was supposed to attempt at the live itself, like at 10 o'clock when it starts, but I had some work and I couldn't start at 10, so I kind of got to the table at 11:15. And I thought that I would attempt some other paper today instead of that paper live, because I was not sure as to whether I will be able to get 2 hours if I start late or not. And while thinking that, accidentally I clicked on the live test button and the test automatically started, and I actually had to complete the entire paper in 40 minutes. So because of that, I've attempted only 62 questions. 38 questions I have left. I've not even read 20 questions, and that was the reason I actually scored pretty less, as you can see my grade. But I'm still very surprised with my performance, because my accuracy was amazing and I'm really happy about it, and I was able to score this much while attempting the entire paper in only 45 minutes. Not even 45, I think it was only 40 minutes. And I decided to share a part of my analysis with you guys, because we all don't know for sure as to how to analyze the paper. So I worked out this system which works really well for me. By analyzing the paper in this manner, what I intend to achieve is, for one thing, to increase my knowledge base, to make sure that I fill up all the knowledge gaps that I have. Second thing is to reduce the number of mistakes I make and to stop myself from repeating those mistakes. And third thing is that I want to be able to get a lot of practice, so that I'm able to make intelligent guesses. I'm able to understand which subjects I am good at guessing and which I am not that good at guessing. So to get all of that in an organized manner, what I've done is I've made a Excel sheet, basically Google Sheets, in which I have like a sort of template. The link to that template I'm going to paste in the description. You can all access to it. And then what I do is, each question I kind of write, I fill up all the columns that I have included in for every question. And then accordingly I see that which are the subjects and which are the topics that I'm lacking at. What I figured out after looking at several teachers' videos as to how much should we expect in every subject is that for the 5 core subjects, that's polity, geography, environment, modern history and economy, we need to make sure that we are scoring at least more than 70%. When we reach at that level, we can say that we are at a decent place in our preparation. If we are below that, we need to make sure that we work hard on the subjects, on the core subjects that we are lacking in. So basically, that's why this sort of analysis really helps. And for the other subjects, it's always going to be like trial and error. So all you can actually do is practice as many papers as possible and gather as much knowledge from those papers, so that you are able to eliminate in a better manner when the real exam comes. So this particular sheet is going to help me with analysis of that. And then all the wrongs that I did, or all the information that I didn't know while attempting questions, what I have done is I have made a page on Notion. I'm very new to Notion actually, and I'm just experimenting as yet. So on Notion, I've made a database board where I have kept tags of subjects, and subject wise, basically all the topics that I did not know while attempting the exam, I am basically filling the gaps there. Basically, I'm writing only the things that I don't know, so that when the time comes for revision, I can just look through that once and I am done with it. So let's jump right into the analysis first. So I attempted this mock test today by Unacademy, and I'm going to analyze 10 questions from this test on the video today, so that I'm able to demonstrate in a better manner as to how I analyze my prelims mock tests. So the first question is about APEC, and the thing is, I knew certain bits about APEC, but I was not exactly aware as to how which are the exact countries that are members. And I did know that it's an economic cooperation, so it's mainly for that, but I was still not very sure about this question. But I did intelligent guessing through my knowledge about Pacific Ring of Fire. So I did remember which are the countries that are that kind of surround the Pacific Ring of Fire, and accordingly I eliminated, and I came to a conclusion that these countries have the best chance at being in this particular international organization. So what I did was I am going to the solutions now, and for this particular question I'm just going to read all the explanation. Established in 1989, that's fine if I don't remember. Basically, it's not a recent organization. That's what we need to know from here. It's an economic forum and growing interdependence of the Asia Pacific. It has 21 members. Greater prosperity and inclusive, sustainable, innovative, and secure. Okay. India is not a member of APEC because it does not border the Pacific Ocean. This was the information that I was not aware of, and which all the members do. And India has requested membership and received initial support from the US, Japan, Australia, and Papua New Guinea. Now, this was the information that I was not exactly aware about. So what I did is I have started to use Notion these days. I'm just experimenting with it, and I have created this page called Lessons Learned. This page is basically going to be my book of wrongs per se. So all the questions that I did wrong in the test, or all the new information that I learned from my tests, I'm going to input in this section. So in this, I already made a couple of tabs. I did create a page called Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, and the line that I read that I had no idea about earlier, I have already made an entry of that. This page I will extend in the future, as in when I learn few more things that I did not know about this particular economic cooperation. And I did not know this data, so I have kind of marked it over here that it is not a member because it does not border with the Pacific Ocean. So I have bolded it so that I immediately, whenever I open this page, I can immediately look at it. Another important thing that I wanted to note from here is that we received support from US, Japan, and Australia, including Papua New Guinea. But these three countries are the Quad countries. We kind of form a quad grouping when we combine India with these countries, and that could be a good point to write about even if there's a question about quad. So I'm going to keep this in mind, and whenever I make any form of a note about quad in my notes, I'm going to link that this page to that, so that I can easily interconnect it and I don't forget it at the time of exam or during the time I'm revising. So I'm just going to make a note of that. But for now, I'm this is all I'm saving. Okay, I can just write here about the quad. I'm just going to make a note of it right here, so that whenever I write anything about quad, I can just use that. Now, in this analysis template, for the first question, I'm going to input all the data. So the subject is IR. Now, all the 5 core subjects, that is economy, polity, history, modern history, and then environment and ecology, and geography. For those 5, I'm going to highlight the boxes blue, but for this I'm going to highlight the boxes gray, so that I remember that this is not a core topic. In this, the topic is international convention or an organization. I'm just going to mark organization. I attempted this question, so attempted 1. It was correct, although I didn't have the complete information. Despite that, it turned out to be correct because of my intelligent guessing. 0 incorrect, and difficulty level I would say is sort of easy because I should have known all the member countries, but I didn't. And the thoughts are that I eliminated on the basis of my knowledge. Okay, I can just say on the basis of Pacific Ring of Fire countries. So that is the first question. I'm going to do I'm going to put everything about all the questions in the similar manner in this particular sheet. So that's the first question. Here they've also mentioned the 21 member countries, so I'm just going to have a look at them, try and find any pattern if I can. So if you see that, really the Pacific Ring of Fire is a good way to eliminate it. So Australia is there, then Brunei, then Canada, because of course, in the North America region, there's Canada on the top and then there's US. And they both touch Pacific Ocean, so that's there. Mexico should also be there, so yeah, right, that's also there. Then there's Chile, there's People's Republic of China, because China also shares a border with the Pacific Ocean. There's Hong Kong, then there's Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, Peru, yes. Argentina is not there, let's note that, but because again, that doesn't actually share a border, I think, does it? Let's have a look. If I look at a map of South America, yeah, Argentina does not. It touches the border with the Atlantic Ocean and not the Pacific Ocean. So there's Chile, Peru. Do we have Ecuador? Do you want to see? Let's see if we have Ecuador. No, Ecuador is not there. Okay. Basically, this is how I analyzed the first question. It did not take a lot of time, but it's very likely that now I will remember things about APEC. At least this particular thing about APEC I will not really forget, and I might have to revise it later on, but I think I can say with good standing that I know what I'm talking about when I talk about this particular question. So let's immediately move on to the next question. Next question is, Tigray region, sometimes seen in the news, is located in which of the following countries? I was not very aware about where it is. Tigray, I felt that it should be somewhere in. I thought that it must be in Arabian Peninsula because Tigris River and Euphrates and Tigris, I kind of was linking it to that. But thank God that I did not attempt, because I would have been wrong, because I would have marked either Syria or Saudi Arabia and I would have been wrong there. So Ethiopia is the correct answer. It's right here. There's the map here. Tigray is bordered by Eritrea on the north and Sudan to the west, and the Amara region to the south, and the Afar region to east and southeast. So I'm not exactly aware about why this was in news. So what I'm going to do with this first is I'm going to mark it over here that this was a current affairs question, although I did not know. It's a place in news. I did not attempt, so 0 correct, 0 incorrect, and I found it difficult, so I'm just going to mark it difficult. I have not. I thought it must be in Arabian Peninsula. peninsula or so because of connection to river Tigris. But I would have been wrong. There you go. So this was about the second question. Now I have no idea about Tigray region, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look it up here. Why was Tigray region in news? Okay, the conflict in, okay, there was a conflict there. Okay, humanitarian access. There was a military confrontation. Okay, that's why this was in news. Okay. I think this is not that relevant in terms of understanding the issue because it's not related to India. But it is still, it was still there in the news, so knowing its location is going to be helpful. So I'm going to put it over here. I didn't make a place for current affairs, did I? Okay, what I'm going to do is I made a tab for geography and I'm going to put all the mapping in geography. So I made this page. The subject is geography, but it is a mapping piece. In news because of military confrontation. It is in Ethiopia. And for better understanding, I am going to save this image and paste it in my notes. There you go. Now I will remember each time and I can directly revise from here. So we are done with this question. That was the second question. You see how much time it is taking for 2 questions. Okay, let's move on to the third question. Third question is SEO. I did remember, most of the things about SEO. I did remember that Statue of Unity is, among the 8 wonders. Then I remembered that rats is a permanent organ of SEO. I did remember only these 2 things actually. And I did remember that, there are basically India and Pakistan had been introduced together later on. I was not exactly sure as to how many members are there. So on the basis of, my 2 and 4, I marked, I was sure it could be either C or D. But something in me was saying that, it couldn't be 7 because before India and Pakistan were introduced, I didn't think that it was only 5 countries. I already thought that it must be 7 before and then 2 and then it must be 9 member group, but I would have been wrong there too. I eliminated on that basis. but I kind of got saved, so that's why I removed this, and this was my answer. Anyway, so since I didn't remember, what I'm going to do is, this is a correct question nonetheless. So IR, again, international organization. I attempted 1, it was correct. Incorrect is 0. Difficulty level was not difficult, it was easy. I eliminated on the basis of assumption that SCO must have 9 members after India and Pakistan were inducted. That could have been wrong, but I still was able to eliminate much of it. So, but right now I'm just going to put this up over here, and I'm going to add it to my notes. SCO. I actually have already made that tab because I was really curious as to what was my answer, and I came across that. I basically added all the information about SCO that I was not very much aware of. So I did highlight 8 members. I decided to write all the members, and I wanted to make a note that Turkmenistan is not a member of SCO because all the other Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan were members, but Turkmenistan was not there, so that would have been easier for me to remember. This is an important information. I felt that 40% of the global population and 22% of the world GDP. Then these are the official languages. There are 2 permanent bodies. One was RATS, which is in Tashkent, and another is Secretariat in Beijing. I didn't know that, I knew, but I had forgotten that RATS was in Tashkent, so I'm glad that I wrote that down. And this was what was asked, but other than that, these are the other places, other of the 8 wonders of SCO. So the next question is Chenda Mangalam Sari, which has received GI tag recently, from which of the following state? Again, this is a current affairs based question, and I'm just going to put that up over here. This is, I would say, art and culture, I think. Current affairs, but it's still art and culture, so I'm going to mark art and culture. And it is GI tag of handloom. I attempted it. So I actually, how I attempted it is that I eliminated on the basis of the name. So I felt that Chendam Mangalam should be somewhere from the south of India. And only one state was mentioned, which was from the south of India. So I marked Kerala like that. And it did come out to be correct. So this is correct. Incorrect is 0. Question was easy because I was able to eliminate on the basis of name. That's how I did. So I'm just going to mark that. But I didn't know a lot about Chendam Mangalam Sari. So I went ahead and added it to my notes. All about Chendam Mangalam Sari right here. I also put up a picture of it, and basically the additional information also I've added where it is a part of Kerala Kasavu saris. Kasavu is a gold thread which is used in the border of the sari, and there are 3 clusters of such basically handloom cloths which was given GI tags. One is Balarampuram, Chendamangalam and Kuthampulli. So I've marked all three, and I've written all three, and then I went ahead with the next. So I'm moving on to the next question. Regulating Act of 1773. Now, I have read this part of modern history so many times. What has happened is that whenever I'm studying modern history, I end up doing the up until, I would say, or 1857, I think. So many times, like way too many times I've done all the topics before 1857. After 1857, I have done the Indian Councils Act and everything, but I've not reached up to national movement part yet. So I kind of lack in that region, but I was very confident about. So I'm not even going to look up too much of explanation here. So this is modern history. It is one of the core subjects, so I am going to mark it blue. This is before, I can just say Regulating Act. That would make it easier. Attempted 1, yes. Correct 1. Incorrect 0. It was honestly very easy for me. I knew it. I am not even going to put up any thoughts. I'm just going to write this. Basically, it doesn't have to be in a certain format. I have to write it in a way that makes it easier for me to understand. So that's exactly how I'm going to go. I'm very much comfortable with this particular question. Pitt's India Act also, again, 1784. I do know about it. So very easy for me. In modern history, again, I have to mark it blue. Pitt's India Act. Attempted, yes. Correct, yes. Incorrect, 0. It was easy. Again, this also I knew. So I'm going to keep it simple. Question 7. Okay, let's move. The next question is Simon Commission. Like I said, I have not done the national movement part yet. So I still thought that I knew, but I did end up making a mistake here. I thought all of them were correct. It did not. I said that it recommended diarchy in province, so it didn't. I didn't know that. Okay, it recommended abolition of diarchy and extension of responsible government in the provinces. Okay, I didn't know that. So this is my first incorrect question. Again, it's modern history. I have not done this part. So it was just an intelligent guess. Simon's Commission. Attempted, yes. Correct, 0. Incorrect, 1. It was easy, but since I had not read, so that's why it became a little difficult for me. But I still think that, giving it, if I would have given one read also to it, I would have been able to do it. Since I hadn't read, I'm just going to go ahead and finish reading it right now. 1927, I remember. British announced 7-member statutory commission. John Simon, Commission of India. All the members of the commission were British. Boycotted, I know this. Simon Go Back was very famous. Commission submitted its report in 1930 and recommended the abolition of diarchy, extension of responsible government in all provinces, establishment of Federation of India and the Princely States, continuation of communal electorate, and so on. So, Federation of India and British States, Princely States, I remember. Communal electorate is also correct. It basically asked for abolition of hierarchy. I didn't know that. 3 round table conferences were done to talk about Simon Commission. Just write down the things that I didn't know about. Okay, so this is modern India, and I'm going to write about Simon Commission. Simon Commission. I'm just going to mark it from here. First, I'm going to copy and paste everything, and then I'm going to remove what all I don't need. Okay. It was in 1927. I don't need this word. British government announced a 7-member statutory commission under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon. Report on condition of India under its new constitution. All the members were British, I know this, and hence all the parties boycotted, I knew that as well. So I'm going to remove it, I don't need it. Commission submitted its report in 1930 and recommended the abolition. Okay. In its report recommended the abolition of hierarchy. That is something that I messed up, so I'm going to mark it here. Responsible government in provinces, government electorate, or no, to consider proposals. 3 roundtable conferences were done, and on the basis of this discussion, white paper on constitutional reforms was prepared, and it was submitted to the Joint Select Committee of the British Parliament. That recommendations of this committee were incorporated in the Government of India Act 1935. I think this much information is enough for me, because this is all I didn't know or wanted help remembering. Everything else I was aware of. So this is all I'm going to put over here. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following was proposed by the Nehru Report? The Nehru Report asked for all of these things. But I do not remember. I mean, I do remember that this was all there in the Nehru Report. In fact, it also talked about fundamental rights. But I don't know exactly everything about Nehru Report. So I'm just going to put that in my notes too. But first, let's finish filling up this table. I attempted one and I made one correct. Incorrect was 0. This was easy. Again, I'm just going to say I knew this. Okay, the British appointed all white commission in this. Then was a Nehru Report 1988 in effect, an outline of a draft constitution. Features relate to the Constitution of India. Okay, so it was basically as against to Simon Commission. Visualized parliamentary system with full government and a joint electorates with time-bound reservation of seats for minorities. Laid special emphasis on securing fundamental human rights. See, I told you fundamental rights. The people of India, these included right to freedom of conscience, opinion, expression of opinion, as well as right to assemble peacefully, men and women, free elementary education. Increasingly, the secular character of the state was listed as fundamental right. The 19 rights listed in the Nehru Report 10 were incorporated in the 19. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Also recommended the redistribution of provinces should take place on the linguistic basis. Equal rights for men and women, no state religion, proposed creation of a Supreme Court, provinces should be created, linguistic lines. Usage of English be permitted. Okay, I think this is something that I need to make a note of in my Nehru report. Even though I did this question correct, I am going to put up all the information that I was not aware of before. So British appointed this. No, was wrongly condemned. It was a draft constitution of India. Most of the features were later included, so let's. Okay. This is, I think, parliamentary system. Okay, I can just mark it, keep it in this. Its emphasis on securing fundamental. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following pairs related to the source of constitution are correctly matched? Okay, I did remember this because procedure established by law is not from the US Constitution. In fact, from the US Constitution, we had the jurisprudence added later on called due process of law. So this is not exactly correct. That's how I have eliminated. I have not looked at the solution yet, but let's just mark it like this. This is polity. Again, it's an important pillar, so I'm just going to highlight it to blue. The topic here would be sources of the Constitution. Attempted, yes. So if you notice so far that in this particular test I have very good accuracy. I think I knew, but let's just look at the solution first, then we can do. US Constitution, we had this. Federal scheme, yes. Office of the Governor, Judiciary, Public Service Commissions, Parliamentary rule of law, legislative procedure, single citizenship, cabinet system, prerogative writs. So prerogative writs is British Constitution, yes. I think the justice was from the Russian Constitution, as far as I remember. Members, Canadian Federation of Center, State. Soviet is fundamental duties and ideal of justice. See? Procedure established by law is from Japanese Constitution. Oh, I didn't know that. This I remember. All of this I remembered. I was just not aware about these 3 points. So I'm just going to add that. I did note that I eliminated on the basis of some background knowledge. Japanese constitution, Russian constitution, we got this from. So I think that was something that I knew. Procedure established by law, we got from Japanese constitution. I didn't know that. Soviet constitution, I know. Okay, so only these two things I didn't know. So I'm going to add that. There is polity, and there is. This is going to be about sources of okay. Let's move on to the last question for this video. Preamble. Oh, I did preamble incorrect. How could that be? Okay, I didn't know about this at all. Thakur Das Bhargav called preamble is the soul of the Indian Constitution. I had no idea about that. But I did know that the first two points were correct. Last is again. I'm sorry, this is incorrect. So it was easy, but I didn't know. So I just need to remember this about what people say about the concept preamble. Okay. So I have also added this another column right here, attempt 2 thoughts, because what I intend to do is that I intend to put all the questions and everything about all the questions here. In this manner, I will be able to understand that which are the topics that I'm lagging behind in, and I can improve my performance on that. And then once I have analyzed the entire paper, remembered all the things that went wrong in this particular paper, I am going to re-attempt this paper for the second time. The second attempt of this paper that I talked about, in that attempt, I do not intend to take more than 45 minutes, because I've already analyzed everything, I've already learned everything, and after that also if I'm taking 2 hours, then it does not make any sense. The main intent for the second paper is to make sure that I remember things, so basically my revision is done, and to see that I'm not making the same mistakes. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please let me know, and I hope you are able to understand my thought process. If you think that I should be analyzing in some other manner, please suggest that as well to me, and leave a thumbs up because it really encourages me. And if you've not subscribed to my channel as yet, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video.